we who are not engaged in the building and construction world in any way read that perhaps as many as 60 companies play a part in the refurbishment of a tower block like that. Actually, is that quite normal in this day and age as far as you're concerned?
I think that's pretty normal of a scale of the project that we are dealing with over here. It's nothing unusual about it. I think sometimes even more trades are involved. Look, construction is a very specialized field of activity, and there are a lot of specialists involved at various different times, and they all have equal responsibility. So it is not uncommon to have such a level of responsibilities and number of trades involved in the construction.
And is it, I mean, I'm trying to make it as simple as I can, but is it really down to basics, like there will be one specialist who looks at lighting, there will be one specialist who looks at the environmental impact of the building? I mean, there's a specialist for every single element of it. Is that just the way construction operates in this country now?
That is how it is, and we have specialists at every level of the construction. It is through design, you have many specialists, it goes through procurement, you have many specialists, and it goes to construction, you have many specialists. The important thing is we all come together to make sure that the project is delivered in a safe and stable way. That's the most important aspect of construction.
And each of those individual companies or groups or whatever we want to call them, does each of them have responsibility for the safety of their particular works, whether it's electrics, utilities, whatever it is?
It is. I mean, there is a clear guidance and regulation, a construction design management regulation, which clearly outlines a responsibility or a duty of care on everyone that is involved in construction, and that includes the client as well.
Okay, that includes the client as well. So if someone, let's say once the work has finished, if someone has a problem with an element of the work, how do they work out, I suppose we're talking about the person who's paid the bill, how do they work out who to talk to? Who is responsible? Generally, when there is a problem, they will identify which particular specialism or trade was involved in managing that particular issue, and then the client often goes back to that particular trade and asks them for a resolution of a matter, basically. So in construction process, all trades are clearly specified, and duties and responsibilities are clearly specified as well. So at any one point in time, everybody will be aware who is responsible for what part of the construction process, and that includes health and safety. Okay. And so if finally, regrettably in this horrific situation, we're looking at trying to work out who was to blame, however we define that, wherever we think the fault lies, I mean, it's fair to say from everything you're telling me that is going to be a very long, complicated process because there's so many chains of command. It will be a very long and complicated process, but I think more than anybody else, construction industry is very keen to get to the bottom of this so that we understand what's happened, we understand from the lessons learned, and then make sure that it never happens again. Bobby Chakravarthy, we really appreciate your time tonight. Good to talk to you. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much.
From Newcastle.